8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0, and liftoff of the Delta II with Grail on a journey to the center of the moon.
Chamber pressure rising in all 6 grounded solid motors. Good chamber pressure on the main engine. Good chamber pressure on both verniers. Good chamber pressure on all 6 groundlet motors. 20 seconds into the flight. We have 29 seconds. Mark, 29 seconds. Mach 1. Vehicle now going transonic. 35 seconds in. 38 seconds in. Max Q. Maximum dynamic pressure in the vehicle. Coming up on the 45-second mark. Mark, 45 seconds in. Altitude 3.4 nautical miles. Downrange distance 13.4 nautical miles. Velocity 1,742 miles per hour. Coming up on the 1 minute mark. Mark, 1 minute into the flight. Standing by for solid motor burnout about 10 seconds from now. Pressure decreasing in the solids. Standing by for burnout. And we have burnout. Standing by for SEP. And we have separation. And we have ignition on the 3 airlet motors, the 3 airlet.
Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and liftoff. The rise of Starliner and a new era in human spaceflight.
Clear the tower. Now 10 seconds into flight. Vehicle's begun the pitch over program. Body rate responses look good. Now 15 seconds in. VU's gone close to control. Party 180 looks good at full thrust. Seeing good chamber pressure on both SRVs. Now 26 seconds into flight. Party 180 now throttling down to partial thrust as expected. Engine response looks good. Now 38 seconds in. Party 180 engine operating parameters continue to look good. Vehicle is now passing through max Q, maximum dynamic pressure. Chamber pressures on both SRVs continue to look good. RD-180 engine operating parameters also continue to look good. Now passing 1 minute into flight. And Mach 1, Alice 5 is now supersonic. And vehicle now throttling up. Engine response looks good.
10.
T-minus 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. We have ignition of the R-68A main engine, and we have liftoff of the United Launch Alliance Delta IV rocket carrying the NROL-47 mission for the National Reconnaissance Office.
Seconds into the flight. R-68 chamber pressure looks good. Fuel injector pressure also looks good.
You're hearing the voice of Patrick Moore providing launch vehicle ascent data.
Burn profile on the solid rocket motors appears to be within family. Now passing 25 seconds into flight. And now 35 seconds in. Still seeing good chamber pressure and injector pressure on the RS-68. Good chamber pressure on both solid rocket motors. Now coming up on 49 seconds into the flight, Mach 1, Delta IV is now supersonic. And 55 seconds in, max Q, maximum dynamic pressure. And continuing to see good chamber pressure on the RS-68. Launch vehicle is now 8.5 miles in altitude, or 0.8 miles downrange distance, traveling at 1,400 miles per hour. 1 minute, 15 seconds into flight. Approximately 20 seconds remaining until SRM burnout. And continuing to see good chamber pressure on the RS-68. Now 1 minute 30 seconds in, standing by for SRM burnout shortly. And we have SRM burnout standing by for jettison. And we have good jettison on both solid rocket motors.
T-minus 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ignition and liftoff of the United Launch Alliance Atlas V rocket carrying the 5th Mobile User Objective System satellite for the United States Navy. MUO significantly enhances communications for U.S. forces on the move.
Roll program is complete. Mach 1. Booster engine signatures look good. And booster has throttled back up. Max at Q. RD-180s performing well for the set MR. All signatures look good. Currently flying at an altitude of 10 miles, downrange distance 6.8 miles, current velocity 2,400 miles per hour. And booster has throttled back, right on schedule. Signatures look good.
You are hearing the voice of Marty Malinowski
SRB
providing
chamber
launch
pressures have
vehicle
plateaued,
ascent
looking
data.
for burnout momentarily. And the SRBs have burned out.
6,
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And liftoff at dawn. The dawn of Orion and a new era of American space exploration.
Good engine control in the first stage. Passing 25 seconds. Velocity 1,341 feet per second. Passing 31 seconds, still looking good. Good engine control. Good chamber pressure in all 3 boosters in the full power mode. 40 seconds in. Standing by to go to the partial thrust mode in the core. And we have partial thrust command in the core. Core chamber pressure beginning to drop as expected as we're coming up on the 1 minute mark. 1 minute into the flight. Still looking good. Good chamber pressure in the core booster in the partial thrust mode. Good chamber pressure in port and starboard in full power mode. One minute, 15 seconds into the flight. We have the hydrazine supply valve open in the second stage. 1 minute, 22 seconds in. Max Q, maximum dynamic pressure in the vehicle. Passing 124, Mach 1. Orion and Delta IV now transcending the speed of sound. 1 minute, 31 seconds in. Good engine control in the first stage. Coming up 1 minute, 40 seconds.